All right, welcome back to Real Cast Fishing. Your host, Glenn, with the City Valley Fishing Field Team, the COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this run, I just want to give a few updates, some recent happenings. Yours truly been out there doing a little bit live streaming, mobile fishing live stream. Two formats, one from the Android phone where I put it on a harness and I go out there and do some fishing. It's live, where I can engage with the viewer and look at the chat and answer back any Q&A questions that may pop up, or even some call-outs. Additionally, I've been also using the DJI Action Osmo Action 4 camera for a little bit more. Well, it's more not. It's not live streaming. It's rebroadcasting the live stream. I call it Restream. And in that case, I'm using a camera with a wireless mic setup that allows me to give you a different POV view as I'm fishing, give you an example, maybe some demos of what I'm doing and catching fish, or in some cases not catching fish. That's been working out pretty good as well. But I tend to rebroadcast it. So I'll go live in the evening where I'm actually managing the chat, but I'm rebroadcasting those streams. So what I've been doing lately is mainly hitting some of these local ponds in our area here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, specifically more north, since I'm over here in the city of Allen's suburb or metro, or a suburb of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex, kind of more north of Dallas. I've been hitting some of those various ponds and whatnot there and had some pretty good success. Let's see, we hit some of these local ponds, a couple of them holding some pretty good sized bass. Unfortunately, was not able to land a couple of them where I could see their size, and well, bottom line, they were definitely catchable, but unfortunately I was not able to catch them. I've been using two methods, fly fishing with in this case, it's a 3-piece fly rod, 3-weight, kind of lightweight for some of the fish that are out there that you can catch, and been doing some pretty good fun there. Some topwater bite with the foam grasshopper, foam variant of it, and then some fishing under an indicator and whatnot. And then the other technique I've been using is ultralight bait casting using the Shimano Scorpion BFS XG and some inline spinners and whatnot. Howdy. How's it going? Looks like we got some folks joining. Appreciate you joining. A little impromptu session. Give you some updates on some recent happenings, specifically some of the fishing that I've been doing here. I've been calling it the series Urban Pond Fly Fishing, or Urban Fishing. And two formats where one I can answer the chat, the other one I have to live stream or restream later and answer the chat using that method. And what I find is I think I missed some of the questions that have popped up. So I decided, hey, why don't I just do a real quick update, let you know where my plans are here in the next few, and then maybe that might trigger some comments, questions that some of the folks might have. Okay? So talking about the different ponds and whatnot, what I do is I have a pretty long commute in the morning or every day when I'm out there doing my day job. And because of that, sometimes you just want to miss the traffic, especially over there coming from the Dallas-Fort Worth highways and whatnot. And so over the years, I've kind of kept in my back pocket some certain places to go ahead and try. And these past couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks or so, I tried hitting a couple of places I hadn't been to in a while, specifically the pond at Caruth Haven or Caruth Park. Real small pond in the heart of Dallas, just right down the road from the SMU campus. But I found out about a couple of weeks ago that there are some nice sized bass there. Just did not hook into them. Instead, I was hooking into one little sunfish, and these two big ones, big bass, just went over there and started chasing. One of them, in fact, had it in its mouth and immediately spit it out before I could hook them. So I may have to go back there one commute and stop there and see if I can maybe catch another one of these sunfish and maybe actually do some live bait fishing with it maybe. The other thing is there was another one right down the road from me here in Allen. I call it Sonic Pond. It's mainly it's still a city pond, but it's in a subdivision, and the nearest landmark to mark it off, or at least if the reference is the Sonic Drive-In, where you can get a bunch of fast food and whatnot. And it's a long pond with some nice drop-offs and whatnot, and I've been fishing that one multiple times over the course of the last couple of weeks. And I think it was this last Saturday, early morning, I did the early morning bite, and I went out there with a foam grasshopper variant with the it's a wider gap size 6 hook. I was normally using a size 8 streamer. I went with a size 6 hook from the Montana Fly Company, and well, I had a really nice one. I think I did a video or a little YouTube short showing it, and this thing just came out of nowhere, rolled on the fly, and it was in and out that quickly. But he probably would have been one of the bigger ones I've caught this year. It's been kind of slow here. Let's see. I like fishers, and I subscribed. All right, outstanding. Thanks for subscribing. Really, I'm just kind of open it up at this point to any questions that you might have. Again, I've been using these last few weeks to do the urban pond fishing or pond fly fishing series. I tried 2 different formats, and I'm finding that if I want to do it live, I need to do it from my Android phone. But if I want to shift over and do a better video quality, it's better just to restream the stuff that I have out there, and I can still answer the questions and whatnot that may come in. And speaking of that, I did hit the heart of Dallas over there by Turtle Creek. You kind of work your way down past the downtown area, get near the Katy Trail House, Katy Trail, and start paralleling there. There'll be a creek there. And I found out that there are some nice looking perch, long ear perch, as well as a few other deals, sunfish, bluegill, bass, and I did have a pretty good time there. So that was a pretty cool video. Let's see. Don't worry, I have an Android too. All right. Okay. Yeah, I do like being able to chat while I'm fishing, make sure that I have folks engaged. But at the same time, I do like the action camera sound quality that I get when I use that wireless mic, as well as the better picture. I seem to stream better with that one, or at least you get a better quality. Let's see, there's another Felipe. Howdy, how's it going? So anyways, can talk gear. We can talk maybe tactics and whatnot that have been working for me. Really just an open floor at this point. But maybe to pique your interest in some of the things I have, I'll go grab some gear here and just kind of walk through some of the things I've been doing. Okay. So you can see I've got multiple poles around. In fact, there's more up that way. Okay. And then in the corner, right by those ukuleles, I've got a few other poles, mainly fly rods over there. One particular one that I used was one that I just wanted to do a demo. I think this was like a couple of years ago, where I took I think it was like $29-30 for the Martin fly reel combo, and I think it's more now, but that was a good one to get started in fly fishing. I just wanted to show that you can catch some or get into fly fishing without having to break the bank. Okay, so one thing I did want to call out from it is I think I saw some videos on it. It's the Martin fly reel, and let me grab something real quick here. I'm trying to find some of the old fly reels I've got back here. Oh, all right, here we go. All right, here's one from Daiwa. Okay, and what they were saying was, oh wait, no, sorry, let me get a different one. Oh, okay. Here's one from Martin. Okay. This is an older version of what they currently have now. The version that came with that combo has is rimless, so you can actually palm the reel because it really doesn't have any drag. It's the old school click pawl drag right here, and that's on that Martin as well. And what happens is you can hear that clicking. Okay, that's mainly just to keep you from overrunning on the reel itself. This is mainly a line holder. It doesn't have any drag capability other than maybe, well, with the rimless one, you can palm it right here like so. Most times I'm mainly just using this as a line holder, but just wanted to call it out. That is the click pawl drag, okay? And that's what will be on that Martin that you'll pick up for, about maybe $30 now. I can't remember now. Ugh. Anyways, I have been playing around with that, and then I've been also playing around, I call it the Vintage Bamboo Fly Series. Was up in Oklahoma one weekend. They got some really good antique places to go, especially over in Oklahoma City, and I lucked into a nice bamboo fly rod. Came with 2 tips. I looked at the rating on there, and it comes out to basically a size 6 fly rod. Really heavy, though. I mean, you get used to those lightweight fiberglass as well as graphites. And, yeah, it's a whole different ball game. It does have that slower bend, slower action as you're using it. But what's surprising is from a casting capability and distance, I could get some fair amount of distance with it. Just really have to time the fly cast to go with that bend, okay? Because it is that slower action. You can just kind of feel that line pay out on the back cast and then come forward and time it correctly. That thing's going to shoot out there same distance as I've been getting with my other fly rods. The cool thing about it is I'm still looking for a vintage fly reel to add to it. Right now I just have a more recent, modern version of a fly reel to go with it. In fact, here, I'll go grab it real quick. All right. Okay, here you go. This is, I don't even know what brand it is, but you can see how it has the rating on there, okay? And it came with another tip. And this is what I've been using. Some of the threading has come off, so I want to use it. And since I got it at basically $50, I'm took some tape and whatnot to hold it when some of the line windings came out. I mean, I guess technically you could rebuild it, but I just like using. In fact, the cork came off of one end while I was out there fishing this last round. And then right here, old school meets new school. I just put on an Orvis SL1 reel on it right there. Okay. But I am looking for a vintage fly reel to kind of round out that series to go out there and show you, hey, these old bamboo rods are still good to go with catching a fish or two. All right, and then someone asked me about this little wrapping that I put on here. This is a rod stake or a tomato plant stake. It's that little Velcro-like thing that you can wrap around it when you're growing tomatoes. And, well, I kind of like using them for holding my rod here. All right, or at least the components of it. And this is it's a three-piece bamboo rod, but it does have a 4th piece, which is another tip. Let's see, I'll go grab it real quick. Okay, I found it. Right here, it came with this little case, and in there's a 4th tip. And lo and behold, I just found out what it is. It's called South Bend rod number 346, and it's a 9-foot right there. All right, so hey, cool. Just figured that out here. anyways, it comes with another tip, and I think this one is more of a heavier tip compared to the one that I have on there now, right? Anyways, that's been a fun one to use. How many feet long? It's 9 foot. Okay. And I have caught not a big bass. I'd say maybe a 2-pound bass on it. So that's worked out really well. So once I locate a more vintage reel, I'm going to start doing more of that series, the vintage bamboo fly rod series. And I'll do it live, or I may do a restream. It just depends on how I feel like doing the particular one. I do like the live streaming capability, mainly because one, it's the full Monty. I'm not editing the video. I'm just showing you that. Bottom line, may not be the expert fisherman, but I can at least show you that it's possible to catch fish, even without the high dollar fancy gear. And I definitely don't have high dollar fancy gear. I do have a lot of gear. I have this thing where I don't like to throw away any poles that I have, because even if I break them for whatever reason, I will repurpose them. Sometimes cannibalize them, where I'll take a piece of one or the other and find a means to keep fishing. Let me put this one back up. Okay, I'm back. All right, and then let's see the other piece. Let's see if I can turn around here. Oh yeah, ultralight bait casting. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've got actually 2 of them in the pickup truck, standing by for those times when I'm out there. What BFS setup do you use? Let me grab some of the ones that I have in here, and then I can talk about the 2 that I have in my pickup right now. All right. Okay, bear with me. All right. Okay. All right. BFS setup. Let me start out with the ones that I first started out with. This is the Casking Zephyr BFS reel. The first one I got didn't come with the reel clicker, and then I went ahead and got a second one that came with the reel clicker. All right. And for the rod that I use, this was the first rod I used, which I repurposed for an ultralight bait caster that I used previously. This is a Lightning Berkeley rod. So after I got a hold of the Kingfishers, ended up getting the Scorpion BFS XG right here. And this one's a real fun one. All these can cast 1/16 ounce, no problem. Let's see, the next rod I bought specifically for BFS is a couple of these fiberglass ones. Let's see, I think I got it over here. There's a yellow rod up here. It's the Bass Pro Shop Micro Light, and that worked out really well for bait casting. It's fiberglass, so it's very whippy. Let's see, Mr. Denison. Oh man, yeah, I'm hearing there's been a lot of good stuff happening at Denison Dam here. So, oh yeah, bummer. However, we got the 4th of July weekend coming up, so I may have to sneak away over there and see if we can get in there. But I do hear that on the Texas side it's open again, but it looks like it's getting pretty busy. But I have been watching the reschedules and all that from the web site that I posted, and yeah, there's some pretty good info there that, well, it's really saying there's probably some good stuff. Limited and threw back about 50. Wow, nice. Nice. All right, yeah. One of my favorite things is trout fishing and striped bass fishing. Okay. Denison Dam is the closest I can get. Previously fished for striped bass when I was living on the East Coast, Chesapeake Bay area, and had some fun times there. And then coming over here to Texas, well, yeah, it can be fun. Have you ever fished Arctic char? No, I have not. I've not fished Arctic char. The closest I came, I guess, in that realm is salmon. When I was living in the West Coast, over there by the Monterey area. Okay. Going back to BFS, Cascade Zephyr with and without the reel clicker. I did adjust one of them by adding a high spool speed bearing, and that let me go from 1/16 ounce to maybe 1/24 ounce, so a little bit lighter. That has worked out pretty good over the years. And then the other two that I don't have, I remember my pickup right now, at the Flight Feather Kingfisher reel. It's this kind of blue orange looking thing, and the Handing Magic L 4.5 foot rod, but now it's 4 foot 3 inches because I broke the tip on it. But it's still working well, and it still can cast a 1 gram trout magnet. 1 gram trout magnet. But I do have the 6 foot Handing Magic L rod up in there, that area up there. I got it. That one's just standing by for later when I want to, well, I don't know when I'll next use it. But anyways, I'll have it standing by. It works really well, also casting trout magnets. And then the last one is the Shimano Corrado BFSXG with the Shakespeare Ugly Stick Ultralight 7 foot 2-piece. And that is one that I've been using specifically with inline spinners and kind of going with some light lures, because the intent there is when I make my run to the Texas coast over there in Galveston here in the upcoming months is I'm planning on doing some live lining. Just basically take a treble hook, put the mullet on the end, a 3-4 inch mullet, and start fishing for some of those bruiser speckled trout that are going to be kind of rolling around in the Texas coast or Texas surf at some point here, August timeframe. So yeah, stay tuned there. And when I'm down there, I'll typically take the Android phone Android and do some live streaming there. But I think by then I may have another setup that I could probably use to get a longer live stream going. Okay, topwater chug bug all day, 3 a.m. till noon. Oh, nice. 3 a.m. till noon. Okay. Good news. Topwater chug bug. Okay. How about pencil poppers and some of those bomber lures? Any luck there as well? The reason I'm asking is I still have a bunch of pencil poppers from the last round when I went up there. And I did look into some ones that some of the, when the water's low over there at Denison, you can pick up a few lures, if you know what I mean, that are in the water that other folks broke. Well, yeah, I found a few that way, and found some of the old school ones that some of the more experienced fishermen drill the hole through the pencil popper, add the extra BB weights in there so they can get that cast way out there. So that's been working really good. You have 3 of mine. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because they can get expensive, I'll tell you that. I did get this 3D printer here a couple of years ago, and I've been using it to take lures, like your normal size lure, and downsizing them to a smaller size lure so I can take it out on this ultralight bait casting. All right, let's see. Howdy, LPM Angling. How's it going? Just talking a little fishing here, giving a little update on some of the things, and also playing around my little podcasting thing here. I got a little music thing here. Got a little sound effects too. So hey, it's pretty fun. Had a little rim shot there. I like playing around with it anyway. So, all right. Other things, pond wise. Okay, so there's a couple of ponds I've hit here recently that has me wanting to go back for more. Okay, and one of them I call PSP, pin stack ponds. Okay, so we have a pin stack. It's like a main event or some kind of family venue where you can bowl, play darts, have a little drinky 2 or 3 or more, if you know what I mean. But right in that parking area, pin stack, are 3 city ponds. And normally the first 2 ponds have fish in it. The third one's been hit or miss, okay? And I fished it before they even built the pin stack, and I fished it before they built anything around it. Yeah, and bottom line, there are some nice bass there. Okay, I haven't got them on the line. The bigger ones, the biggest one I got this last round, I would say went about maybe 17 inches. But they're bigger ones there. And so over the course of the next few, I'm crossing my fingers that I might luck into it and maybe get one live streaming of one of these bruisers that are out there, if not maybe more of those bruisers. In the case of Denison Dam, that might have to be a restream because the coverage there is so crazy. Sometimes I get good coverage, sometimes it just drops off, and the next thing I'm dropping off the live stream and getting a lot of dropped stuff. But when I stream from, or I capture the video and then restream it later, I think that might be the better way to go, making a trip up to Denison. Let's see. Love to fish, love the show a lot. Listening to when I work on your podcast. I'm big into BFS, but you can please update your BFS gear. It's so ancient that it's kind of... I don't know. The last one that I got was that Shimano Corrado BFS XG. I just got it last year. It's pretty fun. We can link up. I got camera equipment. Awesome. Camera equipment wise, I've been keeping it simple. I started out with, geez. Oh man, I still have it. Right here. This is the old flip camera where, guess where I got it? Blockbuster. Okay. USB where you connect it in there. You got 20 minutes of video and that's it. All right. Really had a good microphone though. I have to admit that. Really nice, really good microphone. But yeah, I started out with the easy stuff. Oh yeah, ancient. And then I ended up getting a couple of GoPros. One I got off of eBay. The other one I bought when it was on sale. And then I keep one now because I like the sound quality. I don't mind getting it beat up. Oh yeah. I'm getting up there in age. Okay. Let's see. And then I shifted over to the GoPro. Geez, I gotta show you right here. All right, this is a GoPro 5, and then I got the GoPro 8 here. All right, and what happened? GoPro 5 was working really great. I had a external battery pack and great audio coming out there because I had an external microphone, and then I fell in the water. And luckily, I was able to recover it, get it dried out, and now I just use it mainly as a backup camera, as well as I can connect it HDMI into a switcher that I have, so I can do these multi-stream video things. But I haven't done those recently because I'm finding I get better engagement when I'm using this format right here, be it live streaming or restreaming, or in this case, an on-the-fly podcasting thing when I have it hooked up right here. Simple setup here. Shure camera or microphone, and then I got this pod track here. All right. I do have this ATEM switcher back in here. Oh man, I'm not talking fish, I'm talking gear right now, but there's the ATEM switcher. And okay, I'll show my age some more right there. There's my fancy SLR camera, the T2i. I got that because I didn't want to pay thousands of dollars for a single lens reflex camera, but I prefer to pay, what was it? $199, I think I got off of B&H I think, photo. Yeah. All right. Oh, nice. I need to get some GoPro. All right. Well, I do like the GoPros up to the Hero 8. And then after the Hero 8, I stopped getting them. I did purchase the 13 earlier this year, but I wasn't happy with it. And then I went and returned it. And then I found out about the DJI Osmo Action 4. It's not the 5, it's the 4. But it does a lot of, I think a lot more than what I'm seeing with that GoPro. On top of it, I'm really hooked on that microphone. Even if I take the microphone off, I think I did one video where I have the microphone on my fishing vest and I take the camera and just put it down and I walk off and you can still hear me talking, describing everything as long as I'm good line of sight to the camera. You're hearing everything I'm describing. And that kind of ups your game as well. What do you think of castable sonar? Okay. I thought about getting one, but then I changed my mind because I repurposed an old school, it was still the little pixelated pictures and little symbols of fish. I converted it so I could take it as a, what do you call it? Take it kayak fishing. And I put it on a John boat, then I moved it over to the kayak, and that worked out well. And then I went ahead and got another fish finder, and I made it more portable, and with a suction cup and transducer, I could stick to the bottom of either the John boat or the kayak, and I've been really happy with that. The castable ones, I'm not sure about. Yeah, I'm not sure about the castable ones. I prefer just, I mainly use the fish finder to figure out what the contour is of a particular location, as well as if I'm bottom bouncing, especially over there at the local Lake Lavon. There's a couple places that I know where if you can just find the little rocky, brushy section and bounce your slab and jig rig, you're going to hook up crappie, catfish, bass, whatever. All right. Oh, fun mix time. How's it going? Wasn't able to go fishing today, but hey, we can always let's talk fishing. So it's one of these impromptu ones I'll do. I hadn't done one in a while, and I figured to give you guys some update and maybe answer some of the questions that I wasn't able to answer in some of the past live streams. So yeah, but hey, hopefully I'll be back out there again. Yeah, the Android setup, I've been working really well. Getting some good engagement there. Just I think the video quality isn't as good as what I get when I'm doing the restream. All right, just got the Deeper Pro 2 Plus. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that's the one that's like a ball, a circle, or is it the one that's what's it called? It looks like a little bobber fish-like thing. I think maybe I'm thinking of an older one, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of. Oh, the ball. Okay. Yeah, I kind of tend to not use much electronics after I got through these fish finders. I had an old flasher Hummingbird before even the old fish finder or the newer fish finder came out. And I mainly used that one. That's the one where you had to watch for all the flashes, and depending on how it was flashing, you can tell you went over some bait fish, over some rocky bottoms and whatnot. Let's see, in the future, will you make or fly tie stream? I'm sure I could do some. Yeah. Let's see. I've done some YouTube short ones, but yeah, I'm sure I could do one. Maybe there's a particular fly pattern that you're looking for. I mean, right here is my fly timeless. I repurposed my daughter's little vanity table there, and I said, here, I'll take it. And I just threw all that stuff in there, and it's got the peak fly tying vise. In fact, it's got there's another vise over there too that I use for tube flies. Let's see. This is hooked up to everything. Here, I'll go grab it real quick. Okay, Here it is. Right there. This is the Peak fly tying vise. This is the last one I ever bought. Been really, was out at, I think it was Bass Pro over there off of Lake Ray Hubbard off of Highway 30. And I started out with 2 other fly tying vices. And next thing I know, I saw this thing and I was like, hey, I love this base. I love this arm. I love the rotary capability. Plus, it can do size 22 to all the way up to some size without having to change the jaws. And so it's pretty tight. I like it. Let's see. Do you bass fish? Yes, I do. All right. All right. And so that fly tying wise, yeah, let me know and maybe we can, I can walk through how to do one. Let's see, I would love to see how you make your flies like the grasshopper. Oh man, grasshopper one's one that a lot of times when you hear me say that I just lost a fly and I'll have to just retie it, a lot of times what's happening is I'll be sitting here wrapping up whatever I'm doing and I'll see the opportunity to go hit the local pond and I'll be like, okay, I feel like this particular fly or whatever, and I'll just tie it real quick. And you can see it's pretty messy, but I've got a lot of components laying about, and I remember where I have them, and I'll just pull them out and prep for a particular outing. In this case, that foam fly tie or a foam variant where I used the Matana Fly company wider gap hook. That one was just because I ran out of hooks of that streamer and I went ahead and grabbed it. Let's see, I literally started fishing last week. Okay, excellent. Understanding rigs. Okay. All right, any particular questions there on rigs and whatnot? And let's see. Okay, I'm just looking. There may be some sound in the background. I think it's a compressor on my fridge. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. It is. Okay. Maybe I'll just tell you about one particular one I like using. Okay. So you'll see me out in a lot of my kayak fishing videos. This is an old Penn. What series? 4000. Penn 4000. Pursuit. Yeah, this is one of the older ones. I got some braid on here. And then, let's see. I've got a slab and 2 jigs, 2 crappie jigs. And I call it the slab and jig rig, but I tie them sabiki style, okay? So what happens here is this length right here is a dropper, and there's a knot on the main line, 30-pound main line, and then I use a uni knot tied above that knot, tied fairly, once I have the uni knot tied, I'll cinch it down and then I'll pull down on it. And what happens then is right here, I'll cut off the tag end and this is ready to go. It doesn't get tangled. And if it does break off, because this will be a 30-pound test line, and this is usually 12 to 15, sometimes even lighter depending on what I'm fishing for. And what will happen is with the crappie jig hook, it's a light wire hook. It'll either get bent and I just re-bend it and it's good to go, or this is going to break off. And when this breaks off, all I do is just tie another one above, uni knot, jam it in there and push it back down, and I'm already rigged up again. So I used to break off a lot and lose the whole rig. Now, if I do break off, what will typically happen is I'll just lose this bottom piece, or I'll lose a crappie jig and just retie it on there and I can keep going. Okay, and a lot of times I'll pre-tie this dropper, so all I'm doing is just tying the uni knot and jamming it back down and I'm ready to go. Okay, how you tie some fly knots compared to, fly knots. It's the improved clinch, the trilene knot, and the uni knot. I use it for both fly fishing as well as bass fishing or BFS, etc. I just I I know the Palomar knot's a good one. There's the Turtle knot, and there's some other ones. I just keep using these same three knots. Additionally, there's the blood knot or barrel knot when I'm tying my DIY fly leaders. Several years back, I noticed that these fly leaders, the tapered ones, were getting a little more expensive. And when I was first starting out fishing way back when, I was still in my teens, back then I used to go to the public library, and that's where I would read about fly fishing and whatnot. And they talked to making knotted leaders. And then online later on, I found some recipes on how to tie different fly leaders for different situations. But now I just keep it simple. 30-pound butt section, followed by 17 to 15, maybe 12, 14, 12 midsection, and then a tippet ring, and then I'll just adjust the tippet to whatever size I want, usually 2 to 8 pound test. If I'm specifically targeting striped bass and I'm hitting Denison, let's say, and I'm out there with my switch rod, that one I will go with the 30-pound butt section, and then I'll go with a 17-pound midsection / tippet, and that's it. I won't do anything more to it. And it'll be about maybe a 9-foot length, 5 and 4, so 5-foot butt, 4-foot 17-pound test tippet / midsection, and I tie on usually a clouser minnow or some variant of a clouser to fish there. All right. That's actually something I should look at instead of asking. Might be able to find some books in there. Oh yeah. That's how I first learned about fly fishing in general. Yeah. So I was out antiquing not too long ago, about a week ago, and I found. So my first fly reel was the old Martin, I think 60, model 60, a little fly reel that's sort of like an enclosed sheet metal stamped body, and then it had the spool in it. I used that one initially, and I found one this past couple of weeks antiquing, and sure enough, there was one there. It was pretty close to the same one I had back then, but it also had the marking of Martin logo on the spool itself, along with I think 60 on it, and mine didn't have that. It was just a spool and didn't have any stamping on there or any other logo other than on the back where it said Martin. All right. Okay. Well, here, let's see. What time is it? Okay. Give it about another 5-10 minutes here, and then we'll call it. But let me just give you a heads up on what I'm trying to do this upcoming weekend, or not weekend, this upcoming week. I'm going to go and see if I can get a couple more live streams in as part of the commute home. If it looks like traffic's kind of not so great, I'll probably find a spot on the way home and do some live streaming there straight from my phone so we can do some good chatting. And then over the weekend, long weekend, I get a 3-day weekend with the 4th of July. May make that run up to Denison. I've got some folks coming in this weekend, so we're going to have to play it by ear there. So it may be Denison run, see if we can get some of those striped bass, or maybe some kayak jug lining, or maybe even take it to John boat. And I'm hoping that in any one of those cases, we are able to catch something and cook it. All right, because I've been using this induction burner to cook a lot of the stuff I've been catching, as well as some steaks that I've been picking up, and I've been really happy with that induction burner. And I've been using right back there some cast iron skillets that I've been able to cook some actually tasty food with it so far. All right, I have old VHS videos of fly fishing in Norway and Sweden, but more fishing aspect, not really any knot guides, more like showcase flies. Okay, all right. Yeah, I keep it simple. I think there was a couple of live streams where I had knot failures big time, improved clinch knot snapped on me. The trilene knot snapped on me. I ended up going to the uni knot, and that, in fact, has been holding well more recently. There was also another trip that I took. Let's see, Blue River as well as another Oklahoma river in the winter, and I had some fluorocarbon where I was snapping the line pretty much every fish. And I don't know what happened there. So with that, I quit using fluorocarbon and shifted over to, well, back to what I learned from one of the fly fishing guides up in Oklahoma, that good old 2-pound, 4-pound, 6-pound strand mono works perfectly well as a tippet. Trout will still strike it. The bass and bluegill, sunfish, they're still good to go with it. So I've been using it ever since. Hey, Twisted, you're a newbie. I've been fishing since I was 10, and he just gave me a headache on that rig explanation. Just use a simple Texas rig. Texas rig for, let's see, if you're going to go Senkos, yeah, I like fishing them Texas style. I don't really use the wacky rig as much, but since it's BFS, Bait Finesse Systems, I go weightless, and that's a simple rig. All right. Would service be good enough for live creek fishing stream? For trout, where I go, the Blue River, service has been really, really spotty there. I mean, more recently, I think it's getting better, but I won't be able to stream there. I have attempted a live stream up at Beaver's Bend, and it's not worked. No coverage there, basically. As soon as you get down into the river bottom area where the river runs through, I lose coverage. Lower Illinois, there's some spotty sections there, but not enough for me to do the live stream. But when I do those, I will do the video, and then I'll restream it later, and hopefully maybe able to answer some questions there. There is one, but I have to make the run down the Guadalupe River over there, New Braunfels area, South Texas. That one I can have some decent coverage in spots where I can stream live there. So that one, as soon as opportunity hits and it's a trout fishing season and I'm down there, I definitely will be doing some live streaming down there. All right. Let's see. But mainly when it comes to live stream, I've definitely been mainly using them for the urban fly fishing, urban pond fishing series, mainly because, one, from a availability standpoint, I can hit these ponds on the fly, and on top of it, I can just quickly put on the harness that I put over my, where is it now? Back in there. Let's see, definitely on the replay streams, I like to see them. Okay, all right, cool. Let's see, maybe I can show you what I use for the live streaming, all right? Okay, just to give you a rundown. Okay, so this is what I take to work, okay, my day job. And honestly, there's like maybe 20% of the gear in here is related to work. The rest of it is related to fishing. What I mean by that? Okay. All right. Okay. This is a little prescription bottle, but there's some, let's see, there's a Ned rig, a rooster, inline rooster tail, and then another Z-Man BFS deal in here, okay? And also in here, it's called a Yoyito, okay? Hand line, okay? And there's a little circle hook here that I have on a cork, and this one is when I spy a particular pond and I don't have heavier gear and I know there's some big fish, I'll hand line it. All right, I'll squish some bread on here, Sometimes stopping at somewhere on the way home, 7-Eleven, local, whatever market. Get some bread and just squish it on there, and I'll throw that in there. And it's a hand line. You put it on your hand, cast it out, and everything. All right. And then right here, this is the Tellison right there neck harness. So when I'm out there with my Android phone, that's what I have around me right here. And this is a magnetic dealie. It securely locks it. I haven't had any issue with even closely it knocking off. You have to actually grab it good and slide it off the magnet for your phone to come off. Okay. And usually, before I started doing this, it lasts about maybe 45 minutes, and then it'd be, my phone would shut down because battery. And then when it's really hot out there, it'll also overheat and shut down quicker. But I found a workaround, so I keep a power bank handy, okay? And then I have this setup right here. Okay, so a little USB cable to go from the power bank into this splitter. Okay, so this will go into the USB-C port of my Android phone, and then this will go to the power bank. Okay. And then this will go to this. It's an old school mic. I don't even think you can get it anymore. But it's a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter connection where I can actually attach a headset here, and I can hear myself. Not actually hear myself. You can hear audio coming from your phone, but you can't hear yourself speaking. But this is what I use when I'm out there live streaming, and this reduces the wind noise as well as improves the audio quality than having the than just having the internal mic from your phone. It makes a world of difference. You get a lot better audio, right? Oh yeah, that splitter works really well. The only thing you got to be careful of is if you're not paying attention. Oftentimes, the power bank will shut itself off trying to save battery power, thinking that you're not using it. So on occasion, you'll have to kind of just look down and just kind of squish the button on the side of the power bank to kick it back in and say, hey, you need to keep charging. All right. But I've been able to do live streams upwards of 2.5 hours plus from the Android phone because of that. Okay. And then there's some other gear in here, all related to just some accessories to the, in this case, the Android phone harness. Okay. And then more recently, this is what I initially was using for my GoPro on the Hero 8. Okay, but then my GoPro the Hero 8 especially was overheating, so I would use a power bank and connect it in there, and I could get 4 or 5 hours of streaming, or correction, not streaming, of video, no problem. I could also stream directly to my Android phone using the app that comes with the GoPro. But unfortunately, it's the horizontal versus vertical view. In the case of the horizontal view, you just don't get as much engagement with a horizontal stream versus a vertical stream. You go vertical, you get a lot more people joining, as well as a lot more comments, questions, and people calling things out for you. And so I was like, hey, I do like the capability of the view, that wider view of the landscape view, but if only a few people are joining, well, let's go vertical. All right. So anyways, I got that initially for this, and then I got the DJI Osmo Action 4, and that's the one that comes with this little magnetic mount here. All right. So that magnetic deal goes here, and what I'll do is I'll be out there doing my thing, and I'll have the camera out here holding it by hand, and I've got that wireless mic on my fishing vest, and I'm giving you an update, giving you a rundown on what I'm getting ready to do, and then I just click it right on here, and I started going fishing. All right. So when I do those restreams, there's very little editing going on other than maybe trimming out some stop recording or whatever when I talk on because it's voice enabled. Is it, it's not heavy? No, it's not heavy at all. All right. And what I noticed is you're able to, like, I think this last one I did where I'm fishing and I wanted to tell you how I was approaching a pond and how I like to stand off from the bank. And it's one thing to just tell you that I'm doing it, another thing just to show you what I'm doing. And so that's what I did. And you can see how far I am from the bank. I think maybe 15, 20 feet from the bank. And you can see how I'm just kind of dropping the fly right near the shoreline as I work my way up, and then I start fishing. And so that's the other thing I like about this DJI Osmo Action 4. All right. So that's the Osmo Action 4, okay? And yeah, it's not heavy at all. I think when I put the phone on, it feels heavier, okay? All right, so in here, I got some extra batteries, okay? I've got the wireless mic, the DJI Mic Mini, okay? Really great windscreen. It wirelessly connects to your camera, and then I have the camera itself. Okay, DJI Osmo Action 4. I did print up a new door for this port here, where you can plug in a power bank using the USB-C cable. What I was doing there was I wanted a longer live stream, and just like the Hero 8, where I could have an external power bank connected to it, I could run it for hours. Well, I was like, hey, let me see if it'll work here. And I tried it, and it did. It goes for hours. Okay. Take the battery out, internal battery out, connected to the power bank, and I could stream endlessly, 3+ hours, no problem. So I built a door for this. I have it in another container or another packet in here. So I can swap out this door, replace it with another door that has a port in it, and I could connect that in here. And now I can stream without having to worry about switching out the battery. If I'm doing the restream, then I'll just swap the batteries out and then just kind of cut out that portion of the video. If I'm doing a straight live stream from here, I think I did that at Turtle Creek. It was off the camera, live streaming to YouTube. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to monitor the chat, and that's why I kind of stayed away from that. And then I also noticed that I get interference when I am streaming with the app onto the Android phone and the mic. I think it's because they're all on the same, like, 2.4 gigahertz. And so there is some interference there. But luckily, that just tells me don't use the mic. Just go ahead and use the onboard internal mic of the Osmo Action 4. There is some pretty good sound canceling, as well as some adjustments you can make to it that makes it really well. I've not had any issues, except maybe on a really windy day. Other than that, it's been pretty good. What's the walls? Let's dump that one. Walrus one. Let's see. We will. Okay. We'll remove that one. All right. That one's gone. All right. That's what's nice about monitoring your chat is you get a crazy question unfishing related. Well, we get to take it out. All right. All right. Okay. And that is, again, why I tend not to stream directly from the DJI to YouTube, because I cannot monitor the chat as well as I can if I'm at least using the phone, if not doing the restream. All right. And one thing I will do, though, is if I'm going to live stream, in the thumbnail as well as in the write-up and in the video itself, if I'm going to restream, it'll say restream recorded earlier. I'll let you know that this is not live. Let's see. Do your ports still? No, it's not waterproof. It's not waterproof. So you do have to be careful there. In fact, that's what happened with the Hero 5, where I fell in the water. Yeah. What happened there was way back when on the Blue River, about maybe the second, third season, I went to go fish there in Oklahoma. Let me go ahead and put that down. What happened was I didn't have a wading stick, wading staff, wading stick. Didn't have any of that. And I ended up falling in the water. And what I then did was, luckily I had to change of clothes. I wasn't streaming or anything, no video. Actually, I did have a video, but luckily it was encased and was waterproof. One of my older GoPros. And then about I'd say maybe 10 seasons after that, I kept using the same wading staff or stick. Okay, so if you look right here, up in this section here, there's like a little wooden piece here that's crooked. That's got some tape and whatnot. That was my wading stick. And what happened was when I fell in the water that year, I grabbed the nearest stick and says, "Here, I'm going to use this going forward." Took that home and let it dry out, and I added some athletic tape or whatnot to just kind of reinforce, give it a better handle. And I used that for a good 10 years. And then it broke on me, and that's when I fell in with that Hero 5. And then ever since then, now I've gone to, instead of getting the high dollar wading stick for like $150, $200 that you can pay high dollars for, I've just been paying $9.99 for the walking stick that you can get at Walmart. You know, you can get two or you can get one. I've been using that instead. All right. And it works good. And if you take the little bottom, whatever mud guard, it actually has a little spike on the end of it. Did it rot from the inside? I don't know if it rotted from the inside. It stayed pretty good. It's mesquite too, so it doesn't really rot on you. I think it just finally broke on me because I did put some pretty good weight on it, and it just kind of, it's still in one piece, but the section that it broke where it gave on me was enough to put me in the water. So it's kind of bendy, but not actually broken all the way through. All right. I think that's enough this round. I really enjoyed having this talk with y'all. Let's Talk Fishing, impromptu style. And I hope we can meet again here in the next few. Hopefully another live stream here on the fly from the Android, or maybe a restream from that DJI Osmo Action 4. And maybe Twisted. Maybe I'll see you out there while we're out there, maybe catching some striped bass. Or maybe it's some jug lighting, because I do feel like some beer batter fish fry. Catfish sounds really good. All right. Appreciate y'all joining today. All right. Next time, catch y'all later. Good luck. Good fishing.